let me show you how easy it is to make this protein pancake recipe. It's currently 10, but I didn't really get ready. I just woke up like 2 hours ago. Had to do some work, so don't mind my hair. It's a little funky, I get it. But it is also the morning, so you can see me better. So yeah, still mind my appearance. But yep, let's get on to this recipe. This is also something I've been doing for the past year. I pretty much eat it every Sunday during the summer, so it's good. You can also eat it whenever. You don't have to eat it on Sundays like me, but I find it convenient to make and very easy to make too. So let's get on to it. All right, so what we're gonna need is the Kodiak Power Cakes. These are just easy to make. You just add water, whatever liquid you want. Pretty much just do that. Just half a cup for a serving, but I would say do 3/4 of a cup. I use this because I don't like using oatmeal or eggs because one, my roommate is allergic to eggs. Two, I'm too lazy to combine all these ingredients together, so just use the pre-pancake mix. I usually use Kodiak because it has protein in it. I recommend you use Kodiak as well, so try to make this recipe, make sure you use the Kodiak. I don't have my 4th cup because somebody took it, so I'm just gonna use this 1 cup, measure 3/4 to the way. That seems right. Boom. All right, next is your favorite protein powder. I like to use the BPN vegan protein. You can honestly use any other protein powder, like whey protein from other companies or BPN. I recommend BPN. But if you're semi-lactose intolerant like me, I'd like to use the vegan protein from BPN. It's in the description below if you want yours. So I like it. It's better than Uviga in my opinion. So we'll add a scoop of this into this mix, just to add more protein and some flavor. Boom. Not a perfect scoop, but we're not trying to be perfect here. Okay, next use a spoon or spatula thingy, mix it around so the protein powder and the pancake mix mixes together. So basically, we're mixing the dry ingredients together. I like to make a little dent in here just to add the liquid. You can use whatever, you can use water like the Kodiak says, but I need some nutrients, so I'm gonna use almond milk. You can honestly just use regular milk too if you want, but I like to use almond milk because I like to, get my vitamins in. I'm not too sure how much milk to add. Just add probably like half a cup first, and then mix it in and see how it is. This was probably like 3/4 to 1 cup. You don't want it too thick, so let me get it to the right consistency here. But yep, just mixing it, just folding it in. It's getting a little thick here, so I'm gonna add a little bit of milk. Keep doing this until you get the right consistency. It doesn't really matter as long as all the ingredients are also mixed in. You just keep folding in, make sure everything gets nicely coated. This is a little too thick in my preference, so I'm gonna add a little more liquid in there, like this. And you just keep mixing. Also, I didn't mention that you can use whatever flavor protein powder you want. I prefer the chocolate one because I've used vanilla protein a lot in my life, so I'm most sick of it. But honestly, use any flavored protein powder you want. Lastly, add some chocolate chips in here. You can pretty much add like blueberries too. I probably would add blueberries, but I don't know. We need to get the chocolate out of here, so I'm adding chocolate chips. And then you just fold it in. And it's pretty much done at this point. Alright, get a small pan or whatever pan you want. Heat it up. You could put butter if you want, or oil, but since we're health addicts, we'll just put olive oil on here. Butter is a little too OD for me. Plus, it has milk in it, so gotta use olive oil. But just right here, let it warm up, then we'll add the batter. Once it's nice and warm, you feel it with the back of your hand. I'm gonna add some of this batter in here. I like to add like half of it. like this. Like that. And then like to spread it around a little bit. Just so it's a nice, you know, big area. So it flattens out too, so it's not too clumpy in the middle. Alright, once the edges are pretty crispy and you can move it around without, you know, having the middle still, just flip it over like this. Let it cook around for 3 to 4 minutes. Again, for the first side, I wasn't really timing it. I was waiting until the sides were crispy and hard, and then I flipped it, because if it wasn't, you wouldn't be able to flip it. So make sure it's, you know, crusty on the edges before you flip it. Alright, just time to see if it's cooked. It's kind of smoking a little bit. Yeah, it needs like a few minutes on this side, and then we'll do the other pancake. Alright, added a little bit of oil. Probably don't really need it, but we're gonna add the last bit of our batter. Just like that. Not like that. And shake it around, jiggle it, so it's not a big clump in the middle. This batter isn't as runny as I wanted it to be, so with that consistency that I showed you before, just add some more liquid to that. It was a little too thick. Like, usually I should be able to easily have this, you know, spread out, but this is like having big trouble right now. So I think we need to add a little more liquid. So this is like not dispersing as easy as I want it to be. Keep in mind, you don't want not too runny, but also not too thick like this. You know me, I can't go a day without coffee. I wanted to keep Sundays caffeine free, but I didn't sleep as well as I wanted to be sleeping, so I need my coffee. So I like my coffee black. I know that's a psychotic thing to say apparently, but let me know down below if you like your coffee black or not, or just let me know how you like your coffee. Also, know that this is just my representation of this recipe. You do whatever you want. Like, I still have some ideas in my head, like if you don't have chocolate chips, just make it the way it is. You can literally microwave some fruit or just have fresh fruit and then put it on top instead of putting maple syrup or honey. Another way is to, you know, put berries into it to replace the chocolate chips and then just have it like that. Either way works. Like, I'm not a big fan of using maple syrup on my pancakes because, you know, the amount of calories it has. Honey is a good alternative, but also has a lot of calories in there. I just like to eat honey in spoonfuls, so I don't like to add it on much things, but it's your preference. You can do whatever you want. It's your recipe. I'm just showing you the base, which is the pancake itself. You can add whatever you want, but I just want to let you guys know that. Don't mind the stove again, but see how the edges are a little bit crisping. That's what we want. You also check if you move it around. If it's like not jiggly, then it's good to flip it. Because if you flip it when it's not ready, then it's gonna like break and you're gonna ruin the shape of the pancake. But as you can see, it's a little too hot. I burnt some of this. It's probably from the sugar from the chocolate chip, honestly, but I don't really care because I'm eating it and it doesn't really, and I don't mind eating it this way. Alright, I think it's pretty much done. I'm gonna check. Yeah. Put it on this side. Make sure you turn off the stove because you don't want to cause a fire. So that has a peeling. I don't really like to stack my pancakes, but yeah, that's the finished product. Hope you like the setup. It's a little funky. Don't mind the mess in the background. I'll clean it today. Today's a cleaning day. Sundays are my cleaning day, so all of it will be sorted out. But yeah, we're gonna give this a taste. I like to use a spoon because I don't know, just easier. All right, cheers. It's good. It's always good. You can never go wrong with this. Like, has a nice crunch on the outside, soft in the inside. It's not like a typical pancake where it's either dry or fluffy. It's kind of more on the gooey side. course, you can try to cook it all the way through if you want, but I don't have the patience for that. But since it has the chocolate protein powder in it, plus the chocolate chips, it's extra chocolatey, and with the crunchy outside, it adds a good texture to it. I honestly don't think you need to add any other sweeteners like maple syrup or honey. I think it's good by itself, or else it'll be a little too sweet in my opinion. So yeah, you can eat it by itself like this. Chocolate chip honestly adds enough sweetness into this. I'm sure you're wondering how many calories this is. I don't know. The amount of protein, I would say it's around like 52, 53 grams of protein based off of like 30 grams of protein powder. 30 grams of protein in the protein powder. 15 grams for half a cup. I put 3/4, so that'll be 15 plus 7.5, which is around 22.5, right? So 22.5 plus 30 is 52.5. And almond milk, stuff like that. Everything's obviously not accurate, so it's not too exact, but it's just a rough estimate. The calories, I'm not too sure because I didn't measure the almond milk, but I would say it's around 220 plus 110, which is 330, plus the protein powder, which is 120, so 330 plus 120, which is 450, and then chocolate chips and the almond milk will probably be around 120 calories, 150 calories more, so it's probably around 600 calories, which is not too bad honestly. Those are the rough estimate of the calories. I'm not too sure, but if you try this recipe out, measure it out, see the exact calories if you want. So just an option. I'm not super strict with my calories. I just care more about the protein I get, which is why I added the protein powder in this. So if you're wondering, those were the calories and the protein. Oh man. I feel like this is like a really easy recipe to make whenever. You can buy the big Kodiak. You can buy the big Kodiak pancake mix from Costco. I think it's cheaper if you buy it that way. So that's what I like to do. You can make a lot out of that. So that's what I like to use. If you buy like the small ones, it's a little more expensive in my opinion. But that's where I got the pancake mix from. But yeah, I gotta finish this up. If you like this video, leave a like down below. Make sure you subscribe. And if you haven't seen the last cooking episode, I'll put it right here. Remember to go improve it, and I'll see you in the next video.